I'd like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to talk to you all about something that I personally care deeply about, and that's NASA. Now, NASA was originally called the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. They were later called NASA after Eisenhower signed the National Aeronautics and Space Act. The organization was initially founded solely around the purpose of space exploration. Many people still believe that NASA only functions for that lone reason. However, this is not the case. While space exploration still plays a large part in the organization, there are several divisions within NASA that focus on things you might not expect that they'd work in. Let's begin with the biggest part, the Space Exploration Division of NASA. How is that important to us as a society? Now, to answer that question, I'd like everyone to just bear with me for a second and pull out their phones. So, come on now. So, yeah, I need you to unlock it and open the camera. And you can take a selfie of the event, and you can take a picture, because this is a really important thing that we're doing here. Now, the image that you see on your phone comes from the optic sensor that detects photons and returns an image to your screen. This is one of the many technologies NASA has created for use in space that has made its way into something you use every day. Other examples might include GPS, dental x-rays, hearing aid batteries, and many more that would stretch on forever if they were all listed. Now, these things are used all the time in our daily lives now, and never would have been implemented or invented if they didn't serve a purpose in one of NASA's many spaceflight programs first. The sensor in your phone's camera had a much similar use at a very big scale before it was in your pocket. The Hubble Space Telescope, come on paper, that lets us peer 10 billion years into our universe's past uses the exact same type of sensor, albeit at a much larger scale, to collect light from distant galaxies. Along with creating tons of useful technology, NASA's spaceflight program is also here for another extremely important reason: preservation of our species. An Earth destruction scenario, such as global warming or an asteroid strike, is the reality that we face as a threat today. This is mostly because we haven't advanced our position in the solar neighborhood, nor have we taken a significant step towards fixing our planet. The fact that we're contained to Earth means our chance of surviving as a species in the face of such an extinction event is extremely unlikely. Essentially, we have two options. Either we branch out into the solar system and colonize other worlds and fix the problems we have here on Earth, or we remain confined to one planet, leaving our entire species to be wiped out by an asteroid like the one that killed the dinosaurs, or by our own ineptitude, that would be killing the planet ourselves. Obviously, one of these futures is brighter than the other, and we'll only get the better of the two by continuing to support NASA and their goals. There are several other divisions at NASA, including Aeronautics, who research and develop methods for faster and safer supersonic flights, Planetary Science, who study bodies in our solar system, other than the one we're standing on. They're responsible for things like rovers, landers, and orbiters to gather valuable data about planets and moons in our own solar system, and maybe other systems in the future. Along with these are, in my opinion, the two most important programs of all right now: Earth Science and Education. NASA's Earth Science Division's job is to understand the world we inhabit. Earth is a complex machine that changes with human interaction, so we need to understand these changes in order to protect the planet from ourselves. For example, our constant depositing of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere has altered our world's climate in ways we never expected. Earth science helps us understand the negative effects of these things we do, and can help offer up solutions and alternatives that are beneficial to the planet. And NASA does indeed have its own education program. They work to inspire the next generation of students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. By increasing participation in underrepresented and underserved communities and expanding their education outlets to the web, NASA hopes to bolster the existing STEM programs in schools around the country. Education is arguably the most important facet of society today. Without it, a person can't do basic math or communicate through writing, let alone build a rocket. Now, I say these programs are the most important, and they're the ones most at risk of either being completely stripped away or severely defunded. The current administration has set forth a budget proposal for NASA in 2018. While mostly the same as last year's, there are some drastic changes included with it. First off, Earth Science is being cut by around $100 million. which greatly reflects the current administration's skepticism about climate change. The cut would terminate a total of 4 missions currently in progress: PACE, OSO 3, Discover, and the Clario Pathfinder. Now, unsurprisingly, all of these missions involve the monitoring of Earth's climate in some way. In the same proposal, NASA's entire $115 million education program is completely eliminated, removing the Office of Education in its entirety. In the process of removing this program, they would also be destroying any programs NASA has made, or any progress NASA has made in its commitment to further STEM all across the country. Now, the current administration seems to be completely against scientific thought and progression. They would rather ignore the problems by defunding the projects that have evidence to prove the problems. This is the opposite of what should be happening. Instead of looking at the evidence to prove there's a problem or a solution and enacting policies based on it, our lawmakers are straying towards a dangerous area. An area where they try everything to discredit scientific consensus and restrict scientific discovery to fit their own agendas. This is why we march today, because together, united across the country and around the world, the scientific community will not be silenced so easily. Thank you.
Everybody give it up for Brandon Turner. Impressive.